Part 1. Diagnosing Your Attention Lavery. Welcome to Shadow Psychology. You stand at the edge of a revelation that will forever change how you understand your own mind. What if your inability to focus isn't a personal failing, but the calculated outcome of a system designed to keep you mentally enslaved? While productivity gurus sell you techniques to manage your distractions, we will expose how the very architecture of modern life has been engineered to fragment your consciousness and dilute your will to power. Today, we begin the dangerous work of reclaiming what is rightfully yours, your undivided attention. Consider this: the average person now checks their phone every 4 minutes, not because they choose to, but because their nervous system has been systematically rewired to seek external stimulation. Nietzsche would recognize this as the ultimate triumph of what he called the herd instinct, the synchronization of human consciousness to external rhythms that serve someone else's agenda. Your smartphone isn't just a device, it's a leash on your attention, constantly pulling you away from the deep work that leads to true power and self-mastery. Your diagnosis begins with what I call the attention autopsy. A fearless examination of how your focus actually functions throughout the day. For the next 72 hours, carry a small notebook and track every time your attention shifts against your will. That impulse to check email during important work, the irresistible pull of social media notifications, the mental fog that descends after hours of fragmented focus. These aren't character flaws. They're symptoms of what neuroscientists call attentional capture and what Nietzsche would diagnose as the weakening of your will to power. The transformation starts when you stop asking, "How can I focus better?" and begin demanding, "Who owns my attention, and why have I surrendered my most precious mental resource?" This shift from self-blame to systemic awareness represents the first step toward what Nietzsche called self-overcoming in the realm of concentration. The weak believe they have attention problems. The strong recognize they've been systematically distracted from their true purpose. Most focus advice teaches you to work within the system that broke your attention in the first place. We're teaching you to recognize that the system itself is the problem. Your fractured focus isn't accidental. It's essential to maintaining an economy that profits from your distraction. If you're ready to see through the illusion and reclaim your birthright of concentrated power, this journey continues. The most dangerous realizations begin when we stop treating symptoms and start confronting causes. Part 2. The will to power as laser. Focus. Your attention is not merely a resource. It is the very expression of your will to power in its most concentrated form. Where the scattered mind reflects a weakened will, the laser-focused mind demonstrates sovereignty in action. This part of our journey moves from diagnosis to active forging, transforming your innate will to power into an unbreakable beam of concentration. Forget meditation apps and productivity hacks. We are engaging in psychological alchemy of the highest order. The common approach to focus is passive, avoiding distractions, creating quiet spaces, managing external stimuli. The Nietzschean method is radically active. You don't avoid distractions, you incinerate them with the intensity of your engagement. That project you've been postponing? Don't tiptoe around it. Attack it with such ferocious concentration that everything else ceases to exist. The secret isn't in finding focus, but in generating it from within through what Nietzsche called the great health. a state where your mental energies are so aligned with your purpose that distraction becomes psychologically impossible. Practice begins with focus alchemy, the conscious transmutation of mental energy into targeted power. When you sit down to work, consciously declare, "For the next 90 minutes, my attention is a weapon aimed at a single target." Feel this not as a burden, but as an exercise of your inherent strength. The moment your mind wanders, don't gently guide it back. Command it back with the authority of a sovereign reclaiming territory. This isn't mindfulness, it's mind commanding. Each time you successfully redirect your focus, you're not just completing a task, you're strengthening your will to power itself. The ultimate expression of focused will come through what I call deep work rituals. Create conditions where your concentration becomes so intense that time distorts and self-awareness dissolves. What psychologists call flow state, but what Nietzsche would recognize as the moment your will fully possesses its instruments. These rituals aren't about comfort. They're about creating the psychological pressure necessary for diamond-like focus to form. The weak seek perfect conditions. The strong create concentration through sheer force of will, regardless of circumstances. Your transformation manifests when you stop measuring focus in minutes and start experiencing it as a quality of being. The fully focused individual doesn't just accomplish more, they become more. Each session of intense concentration is a workout for your will, expanding your capacity not just for work, but for life itself. The divided mind is the modern slave mentality. The unified mind is the beginning of true freedom. Continue this path, and you'll find that what once required effort becomes your natural state, not because you've managed your distractions, but because you've become too powerful to be distracted. Part 3. Amor Fati for digital temptations. The conventional approach to digital distractions is warfare blocking apps, disabling notifications, fighting the urge to check your devices. Nietzsche offers a more profound strategy. Amor Fati, the unconditional love of fate, applied directly to the digital landscape. This is not surrender, but alchemical transformation, where you stop resisting digital temptations and start using them as raw material for forging an unbreakable will. Every notification, every buzz, every red badge becomes not an interruption, but an invitation to practice your focus. Most people experience digital distractions as enemies to be defeated. The Nietzschean practitioner recognizes them as essential training partners. That push notification isn't stealing your attention, it's testing your will to power. The endless scroll of social media isn't a time waster. It's a mirror showing you where your attention naturally flows when undirected. Through Amor Fati, you learn to love these digital challenges because they reveal your current limitations and provide the friction necessary to develop greater mental strength. The weak see distractions as obstacles. The strong see them as opportunities for self-overcoming. Practice begins with what I call digital Amor Fati, a conscious reframing of every digital interruption. When your phone buzzes during deep work, pause and mentally declare, "I love this moment exactly as it is. This distraction is perfect for strengthening my focus." Then, instead of automatically reaching for your device, sit with the discomfort for 30 seconds. Feel the urge fully, acknowledge it, thank it for showing you where your attention wants to wander, then consciously choose to return to your original task. This simple practice transforms you from a passive responder to an active commander of your attention. The deepest application comes through treating your digital environment as a philosophical gymnasium. Each platform, each app, each notification system becomes equipment for training your will. Social media becomes your concentration dojo, a place to practice engaging on your terms rather than reacting to algorithms. Email becomes your discipline simulator, training you to batch process communications rather than living in perpetual interruption. The digital world stops being a source of frustration and becomes your personalized attention-forging workshop. This philosophical approach solves the paradox of digital minimalism. The more you fight technology, the more power it holds over you. When you instead love and accept the digital landscape as your chosen training ground, you transform from a victim of technology to its master. The energy you once spent resisting distractions now fuels your focused engagement. The digital noise that once shattered your concentration becomes the background music to your will's expression. Continue this path, and you'll discover that the strongest focus isn't built in silence, but in the midst of chaos, not by eliminating temptations, but by learning to love them as essential partners in your journey toward mental sovereignty. Part 4. The Übermensch's Attention Architecture. The common individual seeks focus by retreating from the world, finding quiet rooms, using noise-canceling headphones, creating digital barriers. The Übermensch takes a radically different approach. They don't escape distraction. They architect an environment where focus becomes inevitable. This is not about minimizing interruptions, but about designing a life where your attention naturally flows toward what truly matters, where your surroundings actively support your will to power rather than constantly challenging it. Your current environment was likely designed by others to capture your attention. Open plan offices optimized for interruption, social media platforms engineered for addiction, homes filled with digital distractions. The Übermensch becomes the architect of their own attention ecosystem. This begins with what I call environmental sovereignty, the conscious redesign of your physical and digital spaces to serve your deepest purposes. That means removing not just obvious distractions, but anything that doesn't align with your highest values. The books on your shelf, the apps on your phone, the layout of your workspace, each element either strengthens or weakens your focus. Most people live in environments designed to make them consumers of attention. The sovereign individual creates environments that make them masters of attention. Practical implementation starts with attention zone design. Divide your spaces into distinct territories of focus: a deep work zone completely free from digital intrusions, a creative zone filled with inspiring materials, an administrative zone for necessary shallow work. The physical act of moving between these spaces trains your brain to switch contexts intentionally rather than randomly. The Übermensch doesn't just manage time, they curate space, understanding that where you work determines how you work. Your environment should make focused work the path of least resistance and distraction and active effort. The digital layer requires even more deliberate architecture. Most people's digital environment is a chaotic collection of apps and notifications, all competing for their attention. The sovereign individual designs their digital landscape with the precision of a master gardener, pruning unnecessary applications, planting useful tools in prominent positions, and creating clear boundaries between different types of digital engagement. Your phone's home screen shouldn't be a casino of attention slot machines. It should be a control panel for your will to power. The ultimate expression of attention architecture is what Nietzsche might call the fortress of focus, a life so intentionally designed that distraction becomes virtually impossible. This doesn't mean isolation. It means creating structures that protect your attention while still engaging with the world. The weak try to focus despite their environment. The strong build environments that make focus natural. Your attention isn't something you find. It's something you build through the daily practice of designing a life worthy of your concentration. Part 5. Eternal Focus. Protocol. The Unbreakable Attention System. The journey culminates not in another productivity technique, but in a fundamental rewiring of your relationship with attention itself. The Eternal Focus. Protocol transforms concentration from a finite resource you manage into an infinite expression of your will to power. This is where philosophy becomes neurology, where Nietzsche's principles physically reshape your brain's capacity for sustained focus. Most people treat attention as a candle flame, fragile, easily extinguished by the slightest disturbance. The sovereign individual cultivates attention as a laser coherent, powerful, and capable of cutting through any distraction. Your transformation begins with the daily focus declaration, a conscious ritual each morning where you don't just plan what you'll accomplish, but who you'll become through your focused engagement. Stand before your day and declare, "Today, my attention is my sovereignty. Each moment of focus forges my will stronger. I welcome challenges to my concentration as opportunities to demonstrate my power." This isn't positive thinking. It's neurological programming that primes your brain for undivided attention before the world's demands begin their assault. The protocol's core is what I call focus stacking, the practice of building concentration like muscle tissue through progressive overload. Most people make the fatal mistake of trying to maintain constant focus throughout the day. The sovereign individual understands that attention operates in cycles of intense engagement followed by deliberate recovery. Start with 25-minute focus sessions with 5-minute breaks, then gradually increase to 90-minute deep work blocks with 20-minute restoration periods. Each cycle isn't just about completing tasks, it's about expanding your fundamental capacity for concentrated power. The most revolutionary element is the application of eternal recurrence to your attention quality. At the end of each focus session, ask, "If I had to maintain this exact quality of attention for eternity, would I choose it?" This question exposes shallow engagement and rewards deep presence. The work you're doing becomes secondary to how you're doing it. The quality of your attention becomes the ultimate measure of your work's worth. The weak focus to complete tasks, the strong focus to express their highest nature through perfect engagement. The system completes with what Nietzsche would recognize as the transvaluation of distraction, where you stop seeing interruptions as enemies and start recognizing them as essential elements in your focus ecosystem. That coworker's question becomes a test of your ability to quickly re-engage. That notification becomes a reminder of your commitment to sovereignty. The digital noise of modern life becomes the background against which your focused will shines brighter. You don't eliminate distractions, you transcend them through the sheer intensity of your purposeful engagement. Your mastery manifests when you can maintain diamond-like focus in the middle of chaos, not because you've removed all distractions, but because you've become so aligned with your purpose that nothing can pull you away. The Eternal Focus Protocol doesn't give you better concentration. It makes you someone for whom distraction is psychologically impossible. This is the final evolution, from attention manager to attention incarnate, from focus practitioner to focus being. The journey ends where it began, with your will to power, now fully expressed through your undivided attention to what truly matters.